This November, Missouri voters will see a ballot measure that asks if you want to ban non-citizens from voting, but that has been illegal for decades. Missouri Capitol Bureau Chief Joe McLean explains why the language wasn't struck down by a judge.
This ballot question would do two main things. It would ban ranked choice voting in the state of Missouri, and it would also prohibit non-citizens from being able to vote. Now, the people challenging this ballot question say that's fundamentally misleading because non-citizens were banned from voting 100 years ago. This is the document from 1924, when Missouri voters decided to prevent people who aren't yet citizens of Missouri from voting in public elections. That law is part of state statute, meaning lawmakers can change it at any time. November's amendment adds that ban to the Constitution, so only another statewide vote would be able to change it again.
We're taking some principle that's in a statute and we're now putting it in the Constitution, and that's what the legislature did.
Lowell Pearson is an attorney who isn't affiliated with the case. He said one of the rules for a question going on the ballot is that it can't be misleading, and that's what the lawsuit challenged. Right now, there's no way for a person who is not a citizen to vote in Missouri. State Senator Ben Brown sponsored the bill that put this question on the ballot.
It's not so much about what's occurring now. My aim was to put in place a protection to ensure that this cannot happen going forward.
Pearson said in cases like these, the burden of proof is on the person who is challenging a citizen-led initiative, and it's a high burden, which the judge ruled was not met here.
Unless you can identify a way that this really misleads the voters into thinking they're voting to do X and they're really voting to do Y, you really shouldn't change the ballot type.
Because non-citizens are already banned from voting, the ballot question will have very little impact in Missouri. Tuesday's certification of the remaining initiative campaigns means Missouri voters will see a total of 5 questions on their November 5th ballot. In Jefferson City, Joe McLean, First Alert 4.